Good. Yeah, to take us through the game, I think that the first 50 minutes Braga is extremely good. They come out in an extremely high tempo and they move the ball both on the outside of our formation but also between the lines, which we struggle a little bit. We also have to sort out some type of rotation system that they used, which was well done to them. They took around 15 minutes to sort it out, and those moments when we won the ball, I think we too easily gave it away. So we became a little bit unstructured and under pressure. And then after between 18 and 20th minute, I think we get a small break and we try to sort it out, and it becomes more natural, and we get into the game, and then the rhythm changes a little bit. And I think that the last 25 minutes of the half, I think it's a pretty even half. They have a lot of ball, we have a lot of transition moments, we have a couple of chances that comes from the weaknesses that we discussed before. And then of course they have some half chances as well, and most of them comes from individual quality, where they actually have a guy who's under pressure and they can turn, or they combination play or whatever they do, and from that they create chances. Second half, I think that we are very good. I think that we are the team pushing for the lead, and then on a set piece we concede a goal. I think it's our own goal even, which is of course a little bit unlucky and annoying, and it takes a couple of minutes before we almost get a big chance straight after, and then it takes a couple of minutes before we get back to the rhythm, and then we make a couple of changes, and I think we get the goal, and I think we push for the 2-1 in the end as well. So second half I'm really happy with, both from a structural point of view but also from an individual level.
Were any questions? No questions?
Yes, Oscar, 4 points in 4 games in the Europa League, and you have not yet lost here at Rotterdam. What do you think of that?
I will, with the biggest respect, say I'm a little bit disappointed actually today. I think that we don't have a lot of chances. It's not like it's an ocean of chances left and right, but I think we have enough of dangerous moments, both in and around their box, where they clear the ball in the last minute and the last second, where we actually push for it. Of course they have one on the line as well in first half, but in second half I think that we get to a couple of opportunities which we should punish them harder at, and my feeling is that we go into the dressing room with a little bit of disappointment, which is of course extremely good, and it makes me both proud and happy to see that we can compete on this type of level when you see the individual skills that they have. So 4 points is in many regards probably okay if you see the rankings and everything, but for me, when it comes down to football, it's 11v11 on a pitch where we can prepare and they can prepare, and I think that the level that we have competed at has been very high.
And when the draw came, many people talked about it was a very tough draw for you, a lot of good teams you were playing at. Did you see Elfsborg being here halfway through the group stage with 4 points?
Yeah, of course, otherwise it would be a big problem. I think that, as I said before, when you get to draw, the draw is what the draw is. I got a question yesterday about VAR is what VAR is. For me, it's like we are a part of this tournament, and we are not here just to participate. We are here to compete, and depending on the level of the opponent and the ranking points and the league they're playing at and the individual skills that they have, you have to prepare and you have to respect them in many ways, but you also have to find the weaknesses, and you have to be able to go out as a team and as a unit and play the game, because the game needs to be played, and I think that we have done that in all of the games. And of course there is moments in all of the games where we can see that the level that we are at right now is a couple of steps higher, so it takes a couple of minutes normally for us to get into the rhythm, and there is moments in the game where we sometimes get a lot of pressure on us because the quality of the opponent is very high. But I think in general over the 4 games that there is moments where I think that the opponent also respect us. I mean, we came down to Galatasaray, they changed to a back 3, and they changed the system for the first time in ever, probably. I spoke to some of the guys I played before down there, and today we scouted a team that changed the system they have been using a lot to a back 3 as well. So I think that there is some kind of respect for us as well.
Sorry, I have 2 more questions. Halfway through the group stage, 4 games remaining. What do you see your chances of reaching the final stage of this competition?
I will answer very boring to that question. I know that people is discussing you need this amount of points and you need that and this could be a history or it could be a disaster or whatever it is, but for me it's like, okay, we play a very, very important game for us on Sunday at home, away, but we play a very important game for us as a club because there is a lot of teams that will get affected by the performance we do. So now the focus is to perform on Sunday in the league, and then we're gonna go and play a very tough opponent away, which we will prepare for. But I think the chances are there. I mean, since the tournament started, we have been in the top 24, and that's the goal that we are trying to achieve.
And finally, after this weekend, you don't have any games in Allsvenskan left to play. How will you work to sort of manage that when the games aren't coming as fast as they have been?
We will completely fantastic have time to train, so it will be nice, and we will play some friendly games, of course, against some tough opponents to try to keep the level high. But I think there's a mix between to recover some of the energy that we have been spending a lot the last couple of months, but also building on the stuff that we need to have for these 2 last games in Europa League, but also to try to create behaviors in front of the next season, of course. So it's going to be nice.
So do you see that as an advantage or as a disadvantage compared to other teams who have play also league games?
I see everything as an advantage, so yeah.
Okay.
Kan du köra på svenska eller?
Ja.
Holte gör målet, Rapp spelar fram 2 spelare som trots allt inte har spelat så jättemycket. Hur ser det specifikt på deras insats i samband med målet?
Väldigt positivt. Jag tycker att båda 2 tillsammans med Rami som kommer in också gör väldigt, väldigt fina insatser. Det är alltid svårt att komma in i en match där tempot är som det är, framförallt kanske för Emil och framförallt för Gottfrid som inte har spelat speciellt mycket hos oss och inte på kanske den här typen av rytm och nivå heller, men de kommer in med fantastisk energi och de följer instruktionerna på ett väldigt bra sätt. Och jag menar, de gräver ändå fram ganska många chanser tillsammans, de främre 3 tillsammans med laget bakifrån som backar upp på ett fantastiskt sätt. Så att det är många individuella prestationer idag som jag tycker bör hyllas. Men givetvis är jag väldigt glad över att när man gör byten så får man effekt på dem på ett positivt sätt.
Alltså själva tanken med bytet är ju ganska uppenbart, så att säga, ni jagar en kvittering, men vad sa du till spelarna och vad eftersökte du i själva spelbilden med just de 3 i det bytet?
Nej, men vi kunde väl definitivt se att deras trebackslinje i många moment hade lite problem med framförallt fart, speed, löp in bakom ryggen, men också en viss form av lite osäkerhet kring hur de sorterade in i boxen. Tanken var väl att få in en vänsterfot som Rami har, som både kan serva set pieces men också som kan gräva fram inlägg i ganska enkla situationer. Han mot Ahmed gav sig väl ganska naturligt med tanke på den vänsterfoten, men också Ramis individuella kvaliteter. Och sen så har Gottfrid tagit fina kliv, visat sig fram på ett väldigt positivt sätt, och han har individuella kvaliteter som är väldigt, väldigt intressanta. Det är klart att det har tagit lite tid att knäcka den koden och vi har jobbat mycket med det. Det är oftast de enkla sakerna i fotboll som är svårast att göra. Och det har han väl förstått på ett väldigt fint sätt. Och han gräver också fram en situation idag som är väldigt snarlik de han gräver fram mot Västerås hemma. Så det tyder på en väldigt stark individuell kvalitet, vilket glädjer mig. Och sen så har ju Emil spelat ett fåtal matcher från start hos oss och hoppat in mycket, grävt fram extremt stora chanser i de matcherna, nätat i några men också missat chanser som givetvis när flowet sitter där är mål. Halmstad borta kanske man tänker på, och Kalmar framförallt när han driver av mittbacken och så vidare. Så att det är moment som finns där. Det kunde också varit fler mål. Idag kommer han in på ett fint sätt i boxen och kommer in på en blindside av sin mittback och trycker dit den på ett fint sätt. Så att det glädjer mig.
More questions?
First Roma, then Braga. What makes Boras Arena so difficult for these European opponents?
I know that the discussion about artificial grass is always on some kind of role, but I think that at least from my own point of view, that when you come here with the individual quality that these guys have, both in Roma and in Braga, I don't think that the problem is offensively, because here the ball doesn't bounce, the ball is perfect, you don't need to focus almost on the ball because you know that the pass is going to be correct. So I think that makes it even harder sometimes for an opponent, which is us, that comes from a lower league level, to be able to keep up the rhythm and the tempo. And I think that we can see that both against Roma and Braga, that when they play at a very high tempo and a very high rhythm, we need to be on a level where we challenge ourselves a lot. Defensively though, I think that there is a small advantage for us, of course, because we know that when you play here is different. It's like when you press on a grass pitch and compared to an artificial grass is different. So I think that knowledge, now Braga came here yesterday and they trained and they prepared for it, which is also something some of the opponents who has not done. So I guess that there is advantage and disadvantages with everything. I mean, when we go against Galatasaray away or AZ away, it's not like we complain about the grass pitch. It's like you have to adapt, and it is what it is. And then of course the fans are brilliant. I mean, today you don't see the pitch because it's foggy everywhere, but they still sing and they create an environment which is fantastic. And for most away fans, it's not lovely to take a airplane and to come here and stand here in the cold and freeze a lot. So I think that the environment is a lot of EFL sport people with a lot of heart for the club that creates an environment which really feels at home. So there's a lot on it, but I'm very grateful to be able to have a stadium filled with people that wants to share and create a positive environment.
Any last question?
Hade du också svårt att se allt som hände där nere på planen på grund av dimman, eller hur var det?
Jag har till och med tagit av mig glasögonen, så det var... nej, det är ju som det är. Alltså, det tog väl fram till sista minuterna där, 85 och framåt, där såg man ju inte så mycket. Jag tror det är Ibrahim Boari som har en dunderchans på någon boll som studsar ut, och det är väl svårt att se vem det är som riktigt skjuter där borta i dimman. Men innan dess så hade man väl ganska bra, okej styr på det ändå.
Everyone's happy?